Have you ever been asked to do a commission piece for a customer? You're a little leery. How do I do this? What if they don't like it? Oh, the things that go on in your head when you're going to do a commission piece. So today I want to show you really quickly here a commission piece that I did for someone, and I'm going to show you how I work through that entire process. So stick around and I'll show you all my details. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I have new videos every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you click that subscribe button and click the little bell and you'll never miss one. So let's talk about commission pieces or commission paintings. It can be one of the scariest things as an artist that you can do, and probably one of the most frustrating things as an artist you can do, but it also can be the most rewarding. How's that for an oxymoron? What I wanted to talk to you today was a little bit about commission paintings and how I go about working with people or working with my clients for commission piece. And the first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure you're on the same page with your customer. And it's very tough sometimes because you'll have customers that have an idea of what they like. They saw maybe an artist do something and they want to know if you can do something similar to this. So they'll show you pictures of what they're thinking, and then it's up to you to decide, is this something that, first of all, I can do? Second of all, is it in my wheelhouse? And third would be, if it's something that you want to do. Is it something that gives you pleasure, or is it something that you like to paint or you enjoy painting? So those are the three things that I look at. And when you're working with a client or a customer, I always tell my clients or my customers to take a look at how I paint as an artist. So if you're happy with what you're seeing from what I do and how I do things, like how I paint water might be different than how others paint water. How I paint my trees might be different than how others paint their trees, because you definitely, as an artist, have a style that you have developed. And if they're, if they want something that is more of something that's a very realistic painting and you're more of an abstract painter, that might not work for you. If you are more of a realistic painter and they want something very abstract, that might be difficult for you. So, take a look at that and make sure that you are on the same page with your customer. Now, most customers, when they see your art, they see how you paint, they look at it and they go, oh, I like the way that they do this. And usually they want you to paint something in your style. So that's usually not a problem, but just one of those things to make sure that you are on the same page when you first start. So once we have decided that, yes, they indeed like the way I paint, they like my style, this is something that I definitely want to create, I think I can do it, or I want to challenge myself to try to do it, you want to then kind of get an idea of what they want to see in their painting. So what I like to do is have them, first of all, just discuss with me the size that they want their painting done in. We set a price or something close to what I think the cost is going to be, depending on what size and what medium they want this done. Do they want it in watercolor? Do they want it in oils? There's going to be a different cost for those different types of mediums. And then another thing to think about is how many details I'm going to be working with this, because, if it's something that's a very light and airy, more abstract painting, it might take less time than something that's very detailed. So I want to find out what they want in the painting. Do they want a landscape? Do they want an animal? Do they want something with color? Do they just want clouds? What is the theme that I'm going to be painting for them? And the size and an idea of what the cost is going to be. So that's the next step. Once we've gone through that, I have them send me pictures. A lot of times they'll just do this via email and send lots of pictures. Let's say, for example, if it's an animal that they want, I like to have close-ups of the eyes, of the fur, so I have an idea of, do I have the right color? Because a lot of times, an eye color of an animal might be a little off, so you want to make sure that you have all that information down. So lots of different lightings, lots of different pictures, photographs of the animals or of the landscape or the seascape. And then, some people want, the exact painting or exact painting from a picture. Those are the easiest when you have a photograph. When you're trying to paint something that's more out of your imagination, or if you're trying to paint something that you're putting together from a bunch of different photos, that might take you a little bit longer to do. So just keep that in mind as well. So once you have the photographs and you have an idea of what they want, the next step would be to put that all together. And then what I like to do is a sketch of what I'm thinking, and I will send that to them to see if it's, if I am in the right place. This is what you're thinking. This is not what you're thinking. And if they want me to have specific colors, I can do that. Or it's a lot of times they'll give you that creative freedom as an artist to create what you think is right, because you're the artist, you're the one that's doing it. And I hear that a lot. Why don't you just tell me what you think would look good, or do what you think would look good? Some people have a specific idea in their mind and they know exactly what they want. But the key is figuring out what they want and what you think they want. So that's why getting it down on paper works really well for me. And then once we have agreed to the sketch and everybody is happy with the progress of it, then I will actually begin the painting process. And something I like to do, especially if it is a very detailed painting, or it's a large painting, or it's a painting that's going to take me a number of days to complete or weeks to complete, I love to send my progress reports to them, or a photograph of the painting in progress, so they can see how it's coming along, and see if there's anything that maybe needs to be changed. Wasn't quite going the way that they wanted it to, or maybe something wasn't in the right place, or it looks a little off from the original sketch. They can let me know before it's complete. Always fun to do, and plus people really get a kick out of seeing the painting coming along. Sometimes they don't know what to expect at the end, because what you see as an artist, you may see, the finished piece in your head of what it's going to look like, or have an idea, whereas your client really doesn't. They might just say, "Oh, I want this painted," but they don't know how you get there. It's it's like a carpenter or any other job. When they're doing their job, we're not quite sure how they get there. We just want them there at the end, or we want to be there at the end. They really enjoy, anyway, seeing the progress. And so if you can send pictures, or ask them if they want it to be a total surprise. That can be the case as well. Another important thing to think about while you're painting this, depending on what you need for supplies, if this is a large canvas painting or if this is a small watercolor painting, different paintings will take different materials and different supplies. So keep that in mind if you want to have your payment, a portion of it up front, or take deposits. You may want to keep that in mind as well. For me, I do a lot of watercolor paintings. If I do some larger oils, and the oils are going to cost me a lot of money, and the canvas itself, could be $200 or $300. So you may want some of that up front, just to make sure that they're covering the cost of your supplies before you begin. So then once I'm finished the painting, I will ask for the final payment. You could break that down into 3s, 4s, whatever works for you. And then I always offer, whether or not, if it's a watercolor or something that has to be framed, whether they want to include framing with theirs, and I'll give them a cost for that as well. So if they want the framing done, I'll have it professionally framed, or I will professionally frame it myself. And this particular person did want theirs framed. Here's the finished piece here. So that really comes down to whether or not you feel comfortable taking on commission paintings for clients. It's one of those things that I absolutely love to do. I do a lot of them for the holiday season, which is coming up. Usually I'll post that on Instagram or on Facebook, so folks know how many I have available to do, because it does take some time, especially if you're doing pet portraits and things like that. So I really hope that you get a chance to do a commission piece, because as hard as it seems, it can be so rewarding when your folks or your clients see the final piece and they just fall in love with it. That's like the best feeling as an artist. I do want to mention here, I'm painting rocks, as you can see. So I want to mention I did put up a new class just recently, and it's a really fun one. It's all about rocks, and I do 6 different demonstrations on how to create these different rocks that you can use in your paintings, and I think that you could find that very helpful if you're new to painting rocks or have a difficulty painting rocks. And then because this is a fall painting here, I did want to mention that I do have the Simple Fall Watercolor Reflection Painting, which is an ACO size, which I think you'd really enjoy. I will put a link for both of those classes up here in the top right hand corner for you, as well as down below in the comment section. So thanks for hanging with me. If you have any questions about commission pieces, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them for you either down below or maybe in the next video. And don't forget to give a like and a share. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to be here with me on this Tuesday, and we'll see you next week. Have a great one. Bye-bye.